Hey everybody, Michael Snyder, California Weather Watch. Today is January 17th, and right now we are looking at the infrared satellite imagery. There's the state of California, and you can see not much going on right now. If I scroll up, you can see there is some Arctic air on the move, mainly staying east of the Rocky Mountains. But as we go on in through early next week, we are going to get some colder air across the Great Basin, which is going to drive some Santa Ana winds, most likely again. Got another round or two coming. Very low relative humidities and some strong winds are going to be incoming again. No doubt the fire danger will be quite high across Southern California. So we'll go over the latest on that. Taking a look here, I've got a question about this. What is this feature out here? I always seem to see it. Well, it's kind of a semi-permanent feature. This is a subtropical jet stream moving across Baja towards Mexico. I am a flight controller for Alaska Airlines. That is my day job. And I can attest that pilots will get nuisance turbulence quite a few times, actually going back and forth between Cabo and Guadalajara and other Mexico locations. So if you run into a little bit of bumpy activity, it's probably because you're crossing through the subtropical jet stream back and forth from Los Angeles or from the Bay Area or maybe even for Seattle, wherever you're flying from. So there, little aviation 101 for you. Now, taking a look here at the visible satellite imagery, Northern California, you can see some low clouds. Look at the Bay Area, some low clouds getting in there, a little bit of eddy action right off there to the south and west of San Francisco. And again, we've switched up this wind regime here across Southern California. Look at this. We got some low clouds out there. We got some moisture into the area. So hopefully that is hoping, I am hoping that is helping the firefighters across Southern California, get ahead of things here before the next round of offshore winds do arrive. And you can see the snow-capped Sierra Nevadas out there on the GOES 18 satellite imagery as well. So check this out. Very interesting stuff. Public information statement from Los Angeles National Weather Service. Downtown Los Angeles, the last day which a tenth of an inch was recorded was on May 5th, 2024, tenth of an inch, 255 days ago. That is the longest such streak ever for downtown Los Angeles. And if we scroll down, you can see these individual locations starting on the water year, October 1st. That's why that date is relevant. That's when we start measuring here for the next season. And you can see International Airport, over 5 inches of rain we average. We've gotten 3/100ths of an inch. That is the driest ever during this time frame. You can see other areas with their driest as well. Woodland Hills, Burbank is second driest. UCLA, the driest. And for example, Lancaster usually gets over 2.5 inches, only has a trace, no measurable precipitation yet. That is the first time that's ever happened. So, yeah, interesting stuff here. Los Angeles National Weather Service on top of things. And it's not just Southern California. It's portions of Arizona as well. Look at Flagstaff, only 100th of an inch. Window Rock, 100th of an inch as well. Show Low, Prescott, Payson, Winslow, all with just trace or zero. So, again, among the top driest years all time for much of Arizona as well. And Las Vegas not doing much better, 0.35. They averaged 0.288 since March 17th. And you can look it up real quick on social media. I forget the exact length of this dry streak for Las Vegas, but it's an extreme one. I think it's the longest of all time as well. Now, I get a lot of questions on which weather station I recommend. Well, this one is at the top of the list. It's got an ultrasonic anemometer. It's got a lightning detection system with it. It detected the one lightning strike near my house yesterday. I heard something in the distance. I didn't know if it was a plane doing a missed approach or maybe from SeaTac Airport or something, but my app lit up, and that's the first notification I had that it was indeed lightning. Checked the Doppler radar, and sure enough, I could see the shower and the lightning strike there as well. So very fun weather station. Click on the link down below to save 10% off on that. And I used to live out here in Tonopah, Nevada, and kind of see some of these weather stations out here across these remote areas of Nevada. Of course, if you go across Southern California, a much wider coverage. You can see Las Vegas Metro is there. I'm hoping somebody across Death Valley gets one. And I used to live in Tonopah, Nevada, and I worked at Area 51 doing the weather there. And I always found Goldfield quite a fascinating place, ghost town out there. Read about, I think it was the 1913 flood if you want some interesting information. It washed a bunch of gold off into the desert that was never found. So cool stuff there. Now, anyway, look at the European. This is last night's run, relative humidity. And you can see we have bumped these relative humidities up. Hopefully this is helping the firefighters, get back under control some of these fires, because we've got some more offshore winds coming. We scroll through Sunday here. Now watch what happens as we go on into Monday, and you can see these offshore winds start to develop there, and you can see that dry air blowing back out across some of the Pacific Ocean. And look at some of these just absolutely tinderbox conditions that are going to be in place across Southern California. This is even drier than the last round. The good news is we're not dealing with the big mountain wave activity, and the windstorm isn't going to be as strong, but still Some Santa Ana winds for some areas are going to be moderate to strong potentially with this upcoming event as we go through Monday into Tuesday. Now, taking a look at winds at 5,000 feet. This is the European, last night's run. Put that into motion, and we're going to scroll all the way on into Monday, and you can clearly see it. Actually, I want to back that up a little bit here. Northern California, you can see actually northeast winds there. Comes out across the Bay Area. There's going to be some gusty winds associated with this, but of course, you're not dealing with the dry tinderbox conditions here across the Bay Area or Northern California. They're going to be much better equipped to handle any kind of fire that does break out there, and probably just, hopefully not even allow the fire to get started with the wetter conditions. But Southern California, we know how dry it's been across Arizona, Las Vegas, the deserts, and Los Angeles metro. And again, pretty strong wind event shaping up here as we go through Monday on into Tuesday. Starts to turn a bit easterly as we move through Wednesday, but then watch this, another round wants to start to make its way down as we go through Wednesday night into Thursday morning. Are you kidding me? So potentially 2 rounds of offshore winds still yet to go. And that's not even looking that far off into the future. If we look at the GFS, it's really been waffling back and forth between showing an offshore wind event as we go through Monday and Tuesday and not showing one at all, and changing the strength of these systems as well. Let's see what the latest here says. This is hot off the presses, 12Z. And now, yeah, it's back. So we're getting better confidence in this next round as we go through Monday, and Tuesday turns a bit more easterly as we go through the day Tuesday. And let's see what it shows later on. It does show another offshore wind event as we go through Thursday as well. So yeah, not good news on that front. Not much rain in sight here, but I will show you something on that here. In fact, let me just keep scrolling out because something does show up near 200 hours. It does show somewhat of a trough coming down, which could potentially bring some rainfall to Southern California. But again, if this is a little bit further off to the east, it's going to be a dry inside slider. Hopefully this can get back out over the ocean. And again, we're looking too far out into the future to really get too excited about those precipitation chances just yet. And if you watched my Santa Ana wind video, you know that when that cooler air and the higher pressure gets out across the Great Basin, that's when we get these offshore wind events. So as you can see, as we go through Monday morning, there's that cooler air coming across the Great Basin. And at 5,000 feet, you can see the track of these northeast winds all the way back out across Southern California. Bulk of that Arctic air, though, stays out over east of the Rocky Mountains. I mean, look at that Arctic air shot all the way down to the Gulf Coast. Impressive stuff. And then if we scroll towards the end of the run, you'll see at the very end that next round of offshore winds potentially developing as we go through mid portion of the week coming up next week. GFS, I'll just show you here what that would have looked like at the very end of the run. So here goes this trough digging out. And again, you can kind of see it's a moisture-starved system. But again, if that could just somehow track a bit further west, it would bring better dynamics. And it does show some precipitation. Any clouds, moisture, and precipitation we can bring to cover Southern California would be somewhat beneficial here. It's better than just having sun beating down on the open earth and offshore winds. So we'll take whatever we can get, whatever Mother Nature wants to throw our way. Not much help here on the European artificial intelligence. I mean, I scroll through 15 days here, and look what I'm going back and forth. This is just kind of like a sick joke here. We're just not bringing much in the way of precipitation here into the state of California. This is the 06Z. I think I just showed a version of that, but this is the 15-day precipitation anomaly. Not a good look here along the west coast. Not much of a signal change coming up just yet, but we will continue to watch. You see the GFS did bring a little bit of sign of life there. We'll see if that's going to trend. But the GFS 12Z also wasn't that wet with the system. You can kind of see the deficit if we go through 16-day anomaly there across the state. Now still showing this experimental product. We're getting increased confidence in these offshore winds as we go on in through, of course, the end of January coming up next week. So yeah, there it is. 6 to 10 day below. There's the 6 to 10 day mixed bag, 8 to 14 day mixed bag in precipitations. And then look at this, they back off a little bit here. Maybe there's some hope at the end of the month, according to the Climate Prediction Center. We'll see how that turns out. But taking a look here since April 1st of last year, and again, kind of highlighting what I was talking about earlier, just the exceptionally dry conditions here. When you're in the yellows, you're below normal here, or you're close to 100% maybe in some of the yellow areas, but just a wide swath of well below average precipitation amounts. That extends all the way up into Idaho and some of western Montana and a lot of Wyoming there as well. But yeah, you can see it's really centered around the desert Southwest and Southern California. Drought monitor, I talked about this before. Severe drought does include a lot of Southern California as well. San Bernardino County is right there. So anyway, what else? We'll continue to watch that. Hopefully something changes in the extended forecast. We got more offshore winds likely on the way, and I'll be going over that again in some more detail tomorrow. Click like and subscribe. We'll do this all again tomorrow, and I will talk to you guys then.